YOA community, welcome back everybody. We are continuing, Robert Linkul, trainingtheolderadult.com. We are continuing our dive into Outlive here with Peter Attia. And you have to forgive my beard appearance and such. It's 1:30 in the morning. Wasn't having the best night's sleep, so I figured I'd just get up and get to work here a little earlier than usual. So if I look a little disheveled, this is my morning bedhead, if you would, for my beard. Okay, so we are going to discuss what Peter calls the centurion decathlon. What in the world is a centurion decathlon? I'm not talking about an actual competition among 100-year-olds, although similar events do already exist. The National Senior Games, held every year, brings together remarkable older athletes, some of them in their 90s and beyond. The record for the 100-meter dash for women ages 100 and up is about 41 seconds. That's the straightaway of the track, a quarter of a lap. The Centurion Decathlon is a framework I use to organize my patients' physical aspirations for their latter decades of their lives, especially their marginal decade. I know it's a somewhat morbid topic, thinking about your own physical decline, but I'm not thinking about it. But not thinking about it won't make it any less inevitable. Think of the Centurion Decathlon as the 10 most important physical tasks you want to be able to do for the rest of your life. Some of the items on the list resemble actual athletic events, while others are closer to activities of daily living. And still, others might reflect your own personal interest. I find it useful because it helps us visualize with great precision exactly what kind of fitness we need to build and maintain as we get older. It creates a template for our training. I start by presenting my patients with a long list of physical tasks that might be included. Some are the following. All right, number one is hike 1.5 miles on a hilly trail. Get up and down off the floor under your own power, using the maximum of one arm for support. That was number two. Number three, picking up a young child from the floor. 4, carry 2 5-pound bags of groceries for 5 blocks. That's interesting. Lift a 25-pound suitcase into an overhead compartment on an airplane. Number 6, balance on one leg for 30 seconds, eyes open. Bonus points, eyes closed for 15 seconds. Number 7, have sex. 100 years old? Right, good goals. Number 8, climb 4 flights of stairs in 3 minutes. Number 9, open a jar. Number 10, do 30 consecutive jump rope skips. That's going to be tough at 100. Number 11, swim half a mile in 20 minutes. Number 12, walk with a 30-pound dumbbell in each hand for 1 minute. Walk with a 30-pound dumbbell in each hand for 1 minute. Okay, he's switched now to his personal goals. So, all right, those were the first 10 that are kind of like normal. All right, these are his now because he's the athlete that he is, okay? These are his now. Swim a half mile in 20 minutes. Walk with, I was going to say, didn't we already do the grocery bag thing? Okay. Walk with 30-pound dumbbells in each hand for 1 minute. Okay. Draw back and fire a 50-pound compound bow. Do 5 pull-ups. Climb 90 steps in 2 minutes. VO2 max of 32. Of course, he would have that in there. Dead hang for 1 minute. I'm not a huge fan of the dead hangs. Anyway, that's more of a personal preference there, I think. The dead hangs are really hard on my shoulders. Drive a race car with 5 to 8% of the pace I can do so today. Hike with a 20-pound backpack on for an hour. Carry my own luggage and walk up a steep hill. Those are going to be really difficult. So let's look at the first 10, and then we'll look at his 10. Again, there might be some things on there, like he was saying in the first part. Basically, these can be physical activities that resemble actual athletic events, or they could be ADLs, activities of daily living, right? Basic things like being able to open up your own containers of food and make your own meals and dress yourself and all that kind of stuff. Get up and down off the floor, that's awesome, right? So in-house, we have activities of daily living, but we also have daily life functions. And those are ascending and descending stairs, getting up and down off the floor, being able to carry load from one location to another. You want to be able to sit to stand to parallel. We want to be able to reach our arms completely overhead to 180 degrees and carry steps up and down off the floor, sit to stand, press, and I think that's it. Yeah. So if you do all of those, basically any demands of your daily life you'll be able to function with those for the most part. Okay. Really like that one with putting the suitcase over the head. That's a very functional one. So let's look at the first 10. These were the ones that he just kind of suggested, like the regular person might do. Hiking a mile on a hilly trail, 1.5 miles. That's awesome, right? Even if it's just a dirt trail, but at 100 years old, that'd be amazing to go out for a 1.5 mile hike. To get up and down off the floor using just one arm for support. There's a lot of people in their 30s and 40s that can't do that. They can't get up and down off the floor without using their hands. They can't get up and down off the floor using only one arm. They need both arms or assistance, okay? Either getting to a bench or a chair or something like that. Picking up a young child from the floor. This could be as simple as the kid's walking towards you and you hinge forward and pick them up and bring them to your chest, let alone like a baby off the ground, okay? Carrying 2 5-pound bags of groceries for 5 blocks. So a block is 50 feet, I think, in New York City, or is it 100 feet? I have no idea, actually. I don't know how far a block is. Let's call it 100 feet, okay? 500 feet, that would be basically the straightaway and about a half of a turn on a track. So you're looking at 150 meters, somewhere right around in there, to get you close to about 500 feet. So the straightaway, you got the track all the way around. So the straightaway and about a half a turn. You think you could carry 2 5-pound grocery bags that far? I would say that would be very feasible, very doable, okay? I put up a video the other day talking about the average grocery bag weighs 11 pounds, and they're 90% of the time they are not equal. So you could be carrying anywhere from 9 to 13 pounds in either hand, okay, as 11 pounds is our average. And if you carried a grocery bag in each, you would have upwards of 18 to 26 pounds, right? And then be able to maintain those, carry them into the house, in through the door, the threshold of the door, up the first step, in and around the kitchen, up and down the stairs, and wherever you got to go to get your groceries to where you're putting them. And you have to do that a couple of times. I think that could be very equivalent to the idea of, okay, if I'm able to perform by grabbing 5 pounds and carry them 500 feet, that would be me going to the car and back 3 times to get all my groceries. That's a very life functioning based applicable activity that you'd say, I want to keep training for this. I want to keep doing this. This is important to me to be able to stay independent and keep bringing my own food into my home. That's pretty awesome. Lift a 20-pound, I think I said 25 earlier, a 20-pound suitcase into an overhead compartment on an airplane. I think I have personally picked up and put away more suitcases into overhead compartments for other people than I have myself in all of my years of flying. I have taken hundreds of flights, okay? And I would guess every other flight, I help somebody put their suitcase away because they either can't get their arms over their head or they really struggle to do that, really struggle to do it. And this is one of those life activities where you probably don't train it or perform it really at all during the week or even months at a time. And then you get to the airplane and you're faced with it and you go, oh shit, I can't get my arms over my head, let alone with this 20-pound container. So you start to look to people and you're like, here's this big balding bearded guy, let's ask this guy. And you can see the look on people's faces. They give you this look right away, like, can you, and I'm already up and doing it, man. I got you, right? But I also see people and I go, I bet you I'm going to have to help this person. And they get there and they clean it and press it and put it away. And I go, hey, nice, man. That's cool on my end where you can see the independence. They're like, this is not going to be a problem for me anymore. Balance on one leg for 30 seconds with your eyes open. I think at 100, this would be probably pretty awesome to be able to do that. I'm not a huge fan of the whole balance on one foot thing. I think all that does is make you good at balancing on one foot. I've beat that to death in all these other videos. But I guess if at 100 you can stand on one foot, especially if you close your eyes, that's even amazing. If it's just a test protocol to see how your balance has maintained, I guess that would be great. And then have sex. I think that's a really good one, okay? That was number 7. Climb 4 flights of stairs in 3 minutes. So you're looking at 10 steps, turn 10 more steps. So 20 steps to get to 1 flight of stairs and 3 minutes to do that. So we're averaging, there's 60, 120, 180 seconds by 20, 40, 60 steps. So you're looking at a minute per 50 step, per 50 steps, right around there. All right, so if we're doing 1 step every second, 1.2 seconds, then you'll make that. Is that right? Not a mathematician, but I think that's pretty accurate. So basically you just need to be able to kind of steady state climb a set of stairs. Very good at math, apparently. Open a jar. That's a tough one. I am brought jars on multiple occasions throughout the day to open, so I get that. And then do 30 consecutive jump rope skips. I'm out on that one. At 100, unless you're training every day for that, to just go find a 100-year-old and say, hey, let's try to jump in place, they're going to break every bone in their body. No way. I understand this would be, someone who's trained their whole life to this point would be ideal, but I'm going to say no on that one. Calf pumps would be very good, or just I can jump. Like one time, like boop, off the floor, I can jump. That would be fine. All right, looking at Peter's. This is something. Okay, swim 1.5 miles in 20 minutes. I don't know anything about swimming, so I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm gonna guess at 100, and that would be probably pretty damn amazing. But because he's an amazing athlete and a great swimmer, I think that would probably be high on his protocol. Walk with a 30-pound dumbbell in each hand for 1 minute. So that would be 60 pounds. He's 185, 190 pounds now in his 40s. So I'm going to guess he'll be 165 at 100 years old, 155 at 100 years old. I'm going to guess that he's going to stay rather lean but lose muscle mass just by demand. That's a lot of weight to lose. He's going to be very active and lift his whole life. So I would maybe less. Let's say 175. Let's say he loses 10 to 15 pounds of muscle mass over the next half a century, okay? To be able to carry that would be a third of his body weight. I think that's one of his protocols, is to be able to carry half your body weight for a minute or something like that. Or maybe it's a full, for the active individual, full body weight. Draw back and fire a 50-pound compound bow. No idea what that means. I know what he's talking about, but I don't know if I think Joe Rogan uses a 110-pounder, so that's 50 would be awesome, I guess. Do 5 pull-ups, that'd be amazing. Climb 90 steps in 2 minutes. So we did 20, 40, 60 in 3 minutes over there. So he's basically adding another third to that in his VO2 max of 32. The dead hang for a minute. I'm a big person. I'm, 6'3" and a quarter. And I'm weigh 250 pounds. So to hang from a pull-up bar, muscularly hang for a minute is extremely taxing. Now, should I be able to do it and all this by those criteria? Sure. I've got a buttload of injuries that, make working on a skill like this very difficult for me. But is my grip strength good? Yes. I train my grip strength quite a bit. So I think this is more of a grip strength focus than it is anything else. And then the dead hang does a ton for your shoulders and this and that. And that's if you have a healthy labrum and you don't have, a torn rotator cuff or any impingements, anything like that. Though I've heard arguments that some of those injuries can be improved with the muscular hang, it has not been my experience. Drive a race car within 5 to 8% of the pace I can today. No idea what that means. I guess this is a hand-eye coordination reaction skill, which would be great to be able to maintain that. Hike with a 20-pound backpack on. I think that'd be badass. If you can still ruck with 20 pounds at 100 years old, I'd take 10 pounds at 100 years old. I think that would be great. Carry my own luggage. Yes. Walk up a steep hill. Okay. So whatever whatever I think this would be a very fun drill to do, is to get a Post-it note or a little sticky pad and write out the 10 things you want to be able to do, perform like that at 100. And I think it would vary for sure from person to person, but I'd love to see, number one, like what personal contributions we would have, what personal selections we would have each, but also which ones would be consistent, like which ones would we all have? Would we all have get up and down off the floor or ascend stairs? Like, I think there's a couple of things that we would all want to be able to keep doing. Maybe number 7, as he talked about on that first list. And then which ones would you go like bow and arrow? Where did that come from? Like, that's such a personal hobby for him. He wants to be able to keep firing and shooting bow and arrows. I totally get that. That's great. I'm sure there are certain skill sets that each of us have that you would say, I don't want to lose my ability to do this. I think this would be a really good skill to maintain. It makes me happy. I've been doing it my whole life and I don't want to lose it. That's great. Maybe it's playing pool or bowling or golf or whatever it might be. A lot of the bilaterally dominant movement patterns are ones that we start to lose as we age because we do it so much that injury starts to occur because we're so one side dominant. You push with your left arm, you pull back with your right and release. And so you start to get push injuries on this side and pull injuries on that side. Would it be beneficial to do some dry firings or whatever on the other side to try to equal the strength? I think that would probably be valuable, that kind of thing. But think of bowling or golf. Like, we never throw the bowling ball with our other hand. We never swing golf clubs on the other side. So our bodies will become muscularly dominant in a certain movement pattern and coordination and all that. And that can lead to asymmetries that eventually burden our body so much and damage it so much that we just can't do it anymore. So seeking symmetry, right, or some equality, we always joke and say, seek muscular equality. We're trying to get, like, I can swing a golf club this far and this hard on my right side and only this much on my left. So maybe it's 90 miles an hour. I don't know what fast swings are. So let's call it like 90 miles an hour on my right, but I could only do 60 on my left. It would behoove you to try to get close to 80, 85 on the left side, even if it's just a wild swing and you can't hit the ball for shit, but at least you could swing the club hard. Your body mechanics and your musculature would probably maintain the ability to perform on both sides much longer because you've created less of a gap, less of an asymmetry. And I think that would help you stay healthier and stay more capable. So think of those skill sets and go, okay, now that I've listed this out and I've said, these are the things I want to keep doing, what do we now train to allow us to keep doing that? So every time you go in golf, you're going to swing at least 3 times if you're amazing, at least 3 times on every hole. So that's, 50 plus swings that you're going to do. Plus you take 2 or 3 practice swings on every hole. So let's triple it. There's 150 swings a day. Plus you hit 50, 30 balls on the driving range to start off and take practice swings there. So let's say every time you go golf, you swing the club 200 times. Well, that's 200 times on the right side of your body, right? Or the left side, depending on which you are. Now, if you do that twice a week, there's 400. By the month, there's 800. By the year, there's 1,000 swings, right, that you're doing. And that's only if you're playing a couple of times like that. There's thousands of swings that you're doing every year that are only on one side of your body. So what do you think that's going to do after decades of performing that? You're going to have massive asymmetries and probably some injuries that occur from that because your body's so capable and strong in one direction and weak as shit and unable in the other. So it would behoove you to build a program that would allow you to keep doing that at the best of your ability for as long as you can, if it's a priority. But until you make that list and see the things that you want to be able to do up to the age of 100 and beyond, how would you even know what they are? So that could be kind of fun. I know this one was a bit long, but there was a lot to discuss and a lot on the list there to dive through and go into. I hope you enjoyed it, and I would love to see your list. If you want, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to list out my 10. Maybe in the next video I'll share. And if any of you want to share in the comment section down below, if you go through this little drill and like write out the 10 things you want to be able to do, and then, you know, type them into the comment section, that would be fun. I could do a review of all of your comments, and we could go from there. That could be very fun if you want. All right, team, enjoy your day. I hope you're all having a great one. I love and appreciate you all. Thank you for being here, subscribing, liking the video, etc. And until next time, continue to fight your good fight against sarcopenia. Peace.